Hey everyone, it's Paige and welcome back to my YouTube channel today. We're going to do something a little bit fun, a little bit different. We're going to talk about recovery shots. Maybe it's either a bad break, you get stuck behind a tree, or a bad line, you don't know how to recover from that shot. I'm going to teach you guys how to do that today. Okay, so I am behind a tree, pretty much dead set behind this tree. And so the first thing I like to do when I am in a sticky situation is look for my options. Right away, I notice that I'm more on the left side of the tree and I could potentially kind of fade it, cut it around it. I'm gonna have to watch out for this part of the limb and also this part of the limb. I would also look if I could hook it around. I tend to feel more comfortable hooking it comparing to fading it, but I can't do that because of this tree that's going out this way. I'm also gonna look kind of in between. Are there any shots between there? Yes, I could potentially hit it right between this opening and kind of hook it around it, but I don't think that's the safest shot. If you are unsure about any of those options in between, you're gonna look left, you're gonna look right, you're going to look in the center. If there's nothing there, all you're gonna do is chip out directly side of the fairway. That is the best possible thing you can always do. If you are uncomfortable at all, a little bit, even like 1% uncomfortable, chip it. Chip out. You're going to save yourself so many shots by doing so. You need to be 100% confident when you're hitting these types of shots. You have to commit fully. I'm going to take a 7-iron for this shot and I'm going to hit kind of a low fade around it. When I hit my low fade, what I like to do is put the ball back in my stance, de-loft it slightly, and to fade it, I'm just going to move a little bit closer to the ball. It makes the club more upright, and from there, my swing is more upright, and I don't have to do anything. This is all set up. I'm not going to have to swing it any different. I might do a little bit of a abbreviated follow-through because I have a club that's going to go a little too far, so this is going to be one that rolls right up. Okay, so back of my stance, lean club forward, move in slightly. You can choke down a lot or a little. I like choke down, and here we go. Good little recovery shot, and I almost made it on the green. So I'm sure you've seen this one a lot. You unfortunately didn't go in the bunker. You're in the grass, which might be great, but you're half in. We're not a lefty in this situation, so what do we have to do? So we're gonna stand in the bunker, and what you're gonna do from here is you're gonna choke down literally on the shaft. You're gonna hold the shaft, and normally when you do this, it tends to go a little bit left and you almost kind of smother it. So just move a little bit farther to the right, and it's really simple. From here, it's going to be just an arm swing. You're not going to have really any leg movement or any legs helping you. So it's literally just going to be an arm swing. This is all you're going to do. Simple and easy. Again, aim a little bit more right because this tends to go left on you. It also, because you're choking down so far, you have to almost feel like you're hitting a little bit farther or harder, because when you hit it, when you're choked down so far, it feels dead. So just make sure you are aggressive through and you don't stop or like stub at it. You really want to make sure you're accelerating through it. Next shot we're going to talk about is when you are up against something. It could be a fence, out of bounds, it could be a tree. We're going to combine both of them together with the fence and the tree. So the one thing that's difficult about this shot is, first off, it just feels uncomfortable. Most of the time it's not actually even in your swing, but you just feel like it is, and so you tend to like tense up or get a little like scared, and that's why the shot is bad. So again, all of these shots are going to have the same theme, and that is commitment. You need to fully commit to your shot, because again, if you tense up, do anything, get a little scared, have a doubt in your mind right before you hit it, that's when it's going to turn out really bad. So when I'm standing here, when I take it back, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not going to hit it, but in my mind I feel like I'm going to, and so I'm actually probably going to take it back halfway, and then when I wrap around, I can't do a full follow through because I'm going to hit this. It's really hard to stop your hands pretty abruptly right in here. It's a little easier because I can go a bit higher. So because of that, we are going to take 2 more clubs and hit just a running little punch shot. This is going to help as well when you are already uncomfortable taking it back, so you don't have to take it back as far. So we're going to take back, half follow through. Again, do as many practice swings as possible to get comfortable with the shot that you have to hit. That's the most important thing. So if I'm standing here, just keep hitting practice swings just to see how far you can do it normally. Try to hit it with a bit of speed too, because again, your practice swing is not going to be exactly like your full swing when I do a practice swing. Then when I hit it, I'm actually accelerating further through it. So even though I'm stopping here in my practice swing, I might stop up there. So again, remember that. So try to do your practice swings as realistic to your full swing or the swing that you're going to hit a shot as possible. Being judged right now. There's two guys in front of me. Okay, so again, I'm just going to hit this little punch shot. I am back in play, just short of the green. That was a good little shot. As you saw, I kept it short, but I got nervous. Like, you could probably tell that I tensed up just slightly because I didn't want to accelerate fully through it and break my club or hurt myself. So you could probably see the tension that I had. So that goes back to my original thought, is just trust yourself, do what's comfortable. And again, if you're not comfortable, an easy option is always just to chip it out. By chipping it out, you're eliminating the big number, and that's the most important thing. Bogeys are fine. You can even save your par. It's when you get those like double triples that really mess up your round. So if you're unsure, again, I'm gonna keep repeating myself, just chip it out. So the next recovery shot, you've seen pros do this shot a lot where they do if they're not a left-hander, they'll switch their club around and voila, you have a lefty club. When you're in a position like this where I can't stand behind it, there's some leaves there. I can't stand behind it and hit it, and I really don't have any other option. I could chip it backwards this way, but then this tree is still going to be in the way. So what you do is you just go whoop, flip it around, set it on its toe, and look, you have a whole club face right there to hit it. This is where it gets difficult. Most people obviously never practice opposite way, so if you are right-hander hitting lefty, it's very uncomfortable and very awkward. So I would recommend practicing this shot on a range somewhere before trying it, especially if you have money on the line or you're in a tournament. It's a bit of a risky shot. There's also two ways to do it. I have seen people, because they feel more comfortable with their right-handed grip, they will chip it with their right hand low and do it that way. That's totally fine, but most people will do it where they actually do change their grip as well. When you change your grip, everything changes the exact way. So it's not like I normally will do an overlap and then if I switch it, I'm automatically 10 fingers. Like, you're gonna still do the exact same grip that you would normally do. So when you step up, I like to stand a little bit farther forward on this one. And then from here, all you're trying to do is just find contact. We have really low expectations on this shot. The one thing we want to do is just advance it forward, even if it's just a couple feet. So let's just try it. All I'm going to do is just literally this. You can use pretty much any club you would want with irons or wedges. I like the wedge because I feel like there's just a bit of a larger spot on the face, especially like around the toe area. So I have all of this to work with, especially with irons. Sometimes obviously it cuts it off a little bit more, so you just don't have as much room to play with. Bam, like I will literally take that all day long. My options were to either chip it behind me or take an unplayable, and now I literally just have a little putt. I'm just off the green, but I have a putt to save my par. That's awesome. It's not as difficult as you think. As you could see, I hit it right where that dirt spot was, and so I utilized that entire club face. Again, it's not that difficult. It just feels more uncomfortable, and you just need to practice it a lot before you feel comfortable enough to try it under pressure or when it matters. But it's not, again, a difficult shot. It just feels weird, but once you get over that, it's pretty simple and easy. We talked about the fade around the tree, so now let's do the opposite and talk about the draw or hook. When I do either the fade or the draw, to do then a slice or a hook, it's just a little bit more of an exaggerated version. So I'll just go over how to hit like a nice little draw. For this one, I don't have to move it all that much, but I do have to keep it lower, which makes it, honestly, to me, a little bit easier. Hitting a high draw is something that I tend to struggle with. Hitting a nice low draw or low hook is very easy for me, and I think it's going to be easier for a lot of people because of your setup. So I'll just go through it. So it's 162. I would normally probably hit a 6-iron, but when I hit those low draws, they roll out forever. So I like to club down on these shots. You can also just choke down as well, but you will need to take some off of it because when it hits, it just rolls forever and it just goes farther. So what I like to do is close the club just slightly, aim a little bit right, put it back in my stance, de-loft the club, choke down, grip it, and from here you feel almost like you're coming from the inside and smothering it and turning it over, and you keep it low. So my hands are literally rotating over it. And that's it. Like, it really is just like how your hands do it. If you are uncomfortable working your hands through the ball, then all you need to do is shut your face even more and aim a little bit more right. And you just have to swing out straight and the club head will do the work. If you want to hook it, you're going to do a combination of both of those if you really want to see that banana. I like to do it more with my clubs and my swing path compared to setup, but that's a personal preference. You guys can do whatever feels comfortable to you. Back in my stance, close the club head, keep it low, turn it around. Perfect. So it was nice and low, and it hit probably 40 yards short and rolled up all the way to the green. So that's what I'm talking about with club selection and being smart with it. These shots just take a lot of time and practice. So when you're on the driving range, I will normally just see people just trying to hit it straight all the time. Take that time to work different shots, because when you're out on the golf course, you're never with a perfect lie and hitting a dead straight ball. You're always trying to work it a little bit differently, different lies. And so hit big hooks, hit big slices, hit fades, draws, high, low. Just keep working it. And it's also going to help you find the center of the face too, and get used to like how the club face works through it. So when you're out here and you're hitting big hooks, you're like, I don't know how to fix it. You know how to fix it because of all the time you spent on the driving range hitting slices, and you know how to change your swing path or your setup. And it's just good to work on all of these different shots so you just have more of an understanding of your swing. So we're going to do the opposite of the shot I showed you guys earlier when the ball is outside of the bunker and your feet are in it and what you need to do. And now we're going to do when your ball is in the bunker and you don't have enough room to have like a proper stance and what you have to do for that. I personally think that this is harder than the other shot I showed you. That one, again, just feels more uncomfortable. This one feels uncomfortable, and it's just difficult to execute properly because it's so beneath your feet, and you have to be creative, and not one shot is exactly the same. Like for this one, I could either go really wide with it. I could potentially do 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I think that's what I'm going to do. If it's really exaggerated, sometimes you have to hit it on your knees. So I think I'm going to, because of where the flag is, I'm going to do 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're going to have to give a really wide stance. And make sure that you're not building a stance. That's something you're not allowed to do. So I'm not allowed to sit here and go like this until I have like a shelf that I can lay my foot on. So make sure you're not doing that. Just try to get set as possible, comfortable as possible. You want to have your weight on your front foot for this one. You don't want to have it back. So even though it's wide, I'm still putting all of my weight forward. And from here, it's just an arm swing because my base is so wide, I can't really move it. You want to focus on impact and still making sure you're committed to it. I'll take that all day long. That one's just a very uncomfortable shot to hit. It's just an all arm swing. I probably would have taken maybe more club. Instead of using my 54, I might have used a 50, because it's just an arm swing. You can't get a lot of power through it with your legs or your body. So having a less lofted club actually does help you in this situation. So yeah, that was the last recovery shot I'm going to show you guys. Again, a lot of this just comes down to practice, trying different shots, getting comfortable working it, and commitment. I know you guys have commitment issues in all aspects of your life, so it's not uncommon. But just really try to commit to every single shot and be comfortable with what you're doing. If you have any doubt, the shot is going to be shit. So just really be aggressive through it. Trust yourself. Know that you're doing the right thing. Because again, if there's like 1% of doubt, you're going to tense up, hands are going to move up, you're not going to accelerate through it, and the shot is not going to turn out well. So commitment is the number one thing. There's craziness happening behind me right now. So again, trusting yourself, knowing that you're pulling off the right shot, and if you don't feel comfortable, then pick a safe shot. Like, you don't have to try the hardest possible shot. Just do things that you feel comfortable with. Try to avoid the big numbers, play it safe, but if you want to try certain things and you feel comfortable trying them, these are just ways that I hit my recovery shots. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave a comment down below, like today's video, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next Thursday.